Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 2021. This is the Pro Leader mode. We're on episode number 2. It's our second race, 3-stage race. We've got a sprint stage with a crosswind section near the end, plus a couple of punchy hill stages. So we're going to take off into this one with, same objectives as what we had previously. We are still very low in development as a rider. We've got a lot of progress we need to make, and in order to do that, we need to finish loads of objectives, and then we'll develop and get better, stronger. So we set off into the break immediately, join up with 2 other riders. We skip forward now to the first sprint point. I'm far weaker than the both of them. I'm taking a few turns at the front, but mostly they're doing all the work, and I'm just kind of trying to hang on to the rear wheel of whoever's up front so that I'm in the middle of the group and not at the back. But then we see the movement as both of them take off past me, all 3 going into full sprint mode, and the both of them easily riding away from me on this one. We can see just how weak we are. In fact, we're going to have to continue working. We can't let up because we've got to close the gap that they've opened up on us by out sprinting us by leaps and bounds. With that extra effort, we are going to eventually get back onto their wheel. Fortunately, we're into a feed stage after this, so we'll be able to recover energy. Not bad at this point, but we're going to go ahead and skip forward to the very next intermediate sprint. I'm going to go earlier this time. I'm going to try to see if we can get out front, and then I went too early, so I have to sit up again and give it a second go. We didn't have enough, but we're hanging onto the wheel here. Got a chance to go over the top to take second. We are going to go over the top, but can we hang on to it? No. Out of energy just before the finish. So made the mistake of going way too early. They went with me. They responded. So then we had to have a second go. We had a shot at second that time, but it wasn't enough. But here's the great news. I have a gel. I'm going to use it immediately. I want my attack power back. And the reason why? There's a climb just a few kilometers later. And because we went early, they put in a huge effort to get over the top ahead of me for both of those. We're well behind on the points. We got 15. It's nice. We got 15 and 15. So we got 30 so far. But we're going to hit this climb, and they're not going to have recovered. And I have. So let's see. And I'm a better climber than a sprinter by far. So we're going to go straight to the front. Right now, it's just full pedal. So full pedal at this point. I can see the banner up ahead. No attack currently. But at the moment, I'm comfortable. Now we look to attack over the top, full speed. I dropped a second, but I'm going to re-overtake him. Bigger effort, full blast. And we do it. I get the first KOM point of this race. And if you look at our profile, that's it. There is no more KOMs. So that means I'm going to wear the King of the Mountains jersey, the polka dot jersey, for tomorrow's stage. And that's massive for this early in our career. We go ahead and skip forward to our first ever crosswind section. Or at least first in this race anyway. Second ever. And you can see the crosswinds are blowing at us pretty hard. So they're coming. It's half headwind, half crosswind anyway. So gustier winds. The 2 of them with 15K to go, we have a decent gap over a small peloton. You would think that we'd have a chance. We might be able to do something with this one. But with 15K to go, the both of them just go crazy. And instead of working together, they start attacking. So I see that I'm pretty much out of energy, and I let go. I let go before I blow up. And you can see Lingveld didn't. He blew up. And so we were able to catch back up to him. And you can actually see that the movie star rider also has blown up, or at least had for a moment. And then he goes back into the attack. But riding solo, the 2 of us are able to catch back up to him. And now the 3 of us are back together. But because of the push, now with 10K to go as we go into the banner, there's not enough left, and the peloton catches us. Also, with limited energy, I can't afford to just grab the wheel. These guys are pushing for the finish line, and so with 8K to go, I can't keep up with the pace. Langeveld or Vetti are well behind, and I'm hanging on to some of these riders near the back as we get into the final 4K now, and actually find some of the teammates there. So I'm trying to keep this steady pace, and just before the finish line, it didn't look like I had actually blown up, but I do.
The Breton roads will put the peloton under severe pressure. The many short climbs and the narrow roads will require unflagging attention. In order not to be caught off guard by the most audacious, we'll find them ideal terrain to go on the attack.
So stage number 2 starting out, and the beautiful thing about getting that King of the Mountain point is I start front and center for this one, meaning I attack immediately from kilometer 0, open up a gap, and I'm going to get out there a ways before riders begin to catch up to me. You can see we've got a breakaway, a sizable breakaway of 6 riders. That's a little bit too big, and ultimately the peloton is not willing to let the 6 of us go, so they chase us back. And as I'm speeding things up, right as they go to make contact with the back of the group, the 5 of them make a little acceleration, and I end up on the wheel of the rider doing the chasing in the peloton. So now, back in the peloton before we ever got a chance to go after any of those KOM or sprint points available. I'm hoping that they'll pull in the rest of these guys and that I can attack. And here we go as they bring in now just 2 riders left off the front as the group has been shattered. I'm hoping to make that 3. 3 is usually a good number, and I was hoping that they're going to let me go. You can see behind me, though, a bunch of other riders are attacking. So that's going to really hurt our chances because instead of just 3 off the front, we're right back to, well, there's 6 that are out there. 5 of us here and 1 ahead. So a couple of these guys know that that's not going to work, and we're attacking each other. This really does not help our chances of establishing a breakaway. So disorganized group, I'm just desperately trying to hang on. I'm using up both my gels, trying to recover, trying to stay alive and get through this thing as we approach the sprint point, hoping to at least grab a decent amount of sprint points here and see if we can get something. So coming up on the intermediate sprint, still group is disorganized, but I'm not attacking. I'm hanging on. While I don't have a lot of energy, I got plenty of red bar. As we hit the 1K to go, I'm second wheel. I'm going to go at about the right time, about the same time as the others. You can see I've got enough push, enough speed to get past 2 of them. I'm going to get past 3 of them. And to the line, I'm out of energy, but so is he. And I win my first ever intermediate sprint. So I took a KOM for the first time, and now in stage 2, I win an intermediate sprint. So after blowing up, I'm now going to go into conserve mode. I've been dropped by the group. There's no way that I'm going to catch back up to them. So the peloton's going to catch me. But we've got a good gap. I'm going to go into conserve mode. I'm going to ride as easy as I can. I'm going to go into the aero tuck as often as I can to try to recoup some energy before the peloton catches me. And the good thing is there's a lot of little rolling hills through here, so there's a lot of good opportunities to put in a little bit of effort on the uphill to stay ahead a little ways, and then just aero tuck, aero tuck, aero tuck, again, and get some of that energy back. So here comes the peloton. I'm immediately going to hang on and see if hopefully the pace isn't too high and that I can recover quickly. And I do get a fair amount of recovery in. So things just about work out for me for a while. But peloton, as we get later and later into this thing, they're going to start pushing harder and harder. We've gone through a few of the hills so far. You can see my energy, it's waning. It's dropping more and more and more, being consumed on each of these climbs as peloton's pushing the tempo pretty high, and poof, just before we get to this climb, I blow up. So just the 4th climb of the day out of 8 plus a 9th at the finish. Yeah, not good to be dropped that early, but whatever. I've recovered, I'm back, and we skip to the finish. The big thing for me, not last. There was 12 riders behind me. So I managed to win an intermediate sprint, and I managed to finish not last. And I managed to not crash, so I'll take it. All right, stage 3 now, and we push straight forward into, well, you guessed it, our job early on, complete objectives. Our job early on to get leveled up as fast as possible. So Here we are going into the break. Can't make that corner. Oh, can't make that corner either. So I had escaped. I had a chance, and then I go back, and I totally blew it there. I'm going to try to attack once more, though. Get off the front. Two really, really tight corners there, and I just couldn't quite make them. I used the brake and everything, but it's so hard to manage that and muster that. This time, no dice. Can't get off the front. There's already 3 riders. They were not happy to make that 4. You can see how badly split the peloton was already. Chasing me down. I mean, come on. I'm not a threat. They just don't like having 4 riders away. They want 3. So for now, we cruise in the peloton. We're going to go through. Here's the first climb of the day, and the gap's not that big. And I'm going to try and see if I can get off the front one more time. And I attack, and I'm not even to the base of the climb. You can see the peloton already pulled me back. I'm thinking about going again here at the top. Corner's way too tight. I'm going to back off. Ooh, I just squeezed through that corner. And now on the descent, I'm going to use the arrow tuck, try to conserve a little energy and see if maybe I can escape off the front one more time. No? Hit that corner, same problem. 3rd time. I didn't crash off any of those times, but 3 times I overshoot the corner just a little bit. So I need some work on that one still. And as a result, it's too late. It's too far gone. I couldn't get in the breakaway today. Kind of stuck with what I've got. And once again, we've got a bunch of punchy little climbs. And I'm just going to try to hang on and survive. But that's it. We're out the back. We're into the chase group. A lot of the sprinters are here. Can I hang on to this group? No. The energy, you can see I'm right on the edge. Just hanging in there. Just a little bit, and I'm just off the back of that group, hoping to regain contact. It's given me a lot of good practice on how to ride, though, and that's a good thing. And you can see I kind of latch onto a group here, and again, I'm just practicing that solo ride. These guys catch back up to me again. They've got a lot more firepower than I do, but I'm better than they are in some areas, and they're better than I am in some areas, and so I'm just taking advantage. But then here, big problem. Just cruising along, and the game has frozen. I was able to show you right up until the point where things froze, and it actually was a total game breaker, not only in that moment, but in the save file. So we were there, middle of stage 3, and then we lost the whole thing. Save file totally gone. I had a backup for the end of our previous race. So I was able to go back in and re-simulate through, totally different results this time. But then we got to that second race of our career, and then I tried to use the simulation feature, hoping that I could go stage by stage, or that I could pause it partway through and then just re-race that 3rd and final stage. Couldn't happen. So it ended up pushing me straight through. So race complete. Now, also another bug that I've encountered that I didn't mention at the beginning of the episode is that our previous race, while completed and while saved, it didn't save the objectives that we completed. So that 30 or so objectives that we completed, that rapid progress that we made in development of the rider, totally gone. And then all the progress that I had made through the first 2 stages, or through the 2.5 stages that we completed, the quick sim of that, I didn't go in the breakaway at all during those 3 stages. We just sat in the middle of the peloton for all 3 stages. Ended up with an okay result. I mean, I was outside of the top 100, but I was definitely well up the order from where I've been individually. But we completed 4 small minor objectives, meaning instead of progressing by a good 3 or a full point overall, I've progressed at a few tenths. So right now we're a 64.4, and then I'm hoping when I load this up next time that it will have at least saved this progress. It's been a real problem so far, and I may have to table this. If you don't see a 3rd episode for a while, it's because I've tried to get in, I've tried to go back and record, and ran into the same problems that I've had thus far, meaning the game is unplayable in this mode for the time being. If you see that next episode here in a few days, then yeah, we got to sort it out and it's working and functioning. But if you don't, you know why. If that's the case, don't worry. When it becomes playable in a month or so, I'll be back because it's fun. It's a lot of fun and I want to do it. Also, it may open the opportunity that you might see a career mode version. We'll see if that one's more playable. I'll have to do a little research and see what's going on. If I can know more about what's up with this one and if it's truly unplayable or if I'm just had some bad luck so far. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.